Just pull the wire now, homie. Okay. I think that's very doable.
Australia.
Howdy. This is the bike trailer that I am adding lights to. So ran into a couple little minor issues I have to take care of before I get started on the further installation today. But that's the trailer. I just cleaned it up, washed it, had it looking good. I mean, I literally put this in the washer, had it looking good. Guess I'll probably be doing that again. But anyway, like I said, it's got 180 pound cargo capacity, so that's pretty stout for a bike trailer. But anyway, so, and then let's go ahead and get it extended because it drops it down a little further for me to get it. But see, I've got the wire to where it's just right there, and then I just, if I can get the pin in my finger, just and I actually come over the top and pin it into place. So anyway, and then the wheels, they just go and clip in. This thing is really cool at how easy it is to fold up, to tear down and fold up. But I probably won't be tearing it down and folding up. It'll probably be left ready to go. So anyway, working on lights. There will be an amber light. This is the side of the front, of course. Amber light will be going there. And then, of course, you see a red light here. And then there'll be a red light here. As you can see, there's rivets in there that I've already drilled out. I got to finish getting them out of there. And so I can start over. What happened in my work table's a mess. But what happened was apparently there's a high spot somewhere in here. There's a high spot. And so when I went to rivet this down, it caused it to curve too much and it popped the lens off. And I have no extra red ones at all. So I'm going to be repairing that with some fix-all adhesive. It's pretty much, it's model glue. It smells just like model glue. You know, you can sniff it as much as you want. No, I'm kidding. Nobody listen to that. Do not try that at home or work or anywhere else. Do not sniff the glue, right? The movie Airplane, that was not a suggestion. He did pick the wrong week to quit sniffing glue, but that's aside from the point. Don't sniff this. Anyway, I'm going to repair this. And the LEDs are red actually too, so it's not, you know, super critical if the lens pops off. The LEDs are actually red as well. That's what I like about these. The amber lights, they're amber, the red lights, they're red, and the clear lights, they're clear. So anyway, this is where I have to replace one, and I'll probably put just a little spacer, a little washer or something in there to keep it from having to flex. Of course, another one will go down there. I don't even have those holes drilled yet. And then the same would be true on the other side. And then what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and come up front here. And I'm going to go ahead and add clear ones in the front. I installed this switch initially because it's going to have right here, it's going to have a light here and a light here, clear lights for cargo lights. And they're actually going to be up under this flap. So you won't actually even see them unless you need them, and you will have to unvelcro that flap there. And I know that means the front comes loose, I get it. But still, the lights will be mounted right here. You'll be able to use the cargo lights, and when you're done using the cargo lights, you'll be able to just re-velcro this on down and you know, be none the wiser. And then I had actually bought switches particularly for that use, God, years ago. I started this project years and years ago, folks, and glad to say that I am finally getting it done. So this is the switch that I essentially bought for these trailers, for that cargo light. And so I'm going to utilize that for said cargo light. And then what I'm going to use this switch for then is I'm going to use it to turn off and on the white lights on front. So you may or may not want them on. So the whole system, you know, there'll be a constant 12 volts coming through this barrel connector here, and be a constant 12 volts coming into that. And then this right here will be what powers all of the side lights, not the front. The power for the front clear lights and for the cargo lights will not go through this module. This module lets me do different kind of lighting effects with LEDs, and so it does like this weird kind of warble, flashy kind of thing that I really like on the rear, my tail lights on the bike. So, and that's using one of these, and so I installed one of these for the sides and the rear light so that they'll kind of do the little warble. I call it a warble effect. But anyway, and I don't want the front clear ones to do that or the cargo ones to do that. I want them to be independent. And you know, anytime that you have power going to this barrel connector, there will be the side marker lights, the rear lights and the side lights. But you'll be able to turn off the clear lights up front and of course the cargo lights up top. So that is the plan, man. And yeah, I'll bring you back whenever I got a little bit more done. I got some gluing to do. I got some cleaning the plastic up good. Preparation is always important. So I'm gonna clean up the plastic both sides, and then like I say, this is just model glue. That's what this is. I figured it'd be the perfect thing for that. So I will use it, repair this, let it dry, and I'll use a different light in the time being in that spot, and then that'll probably be the last one that I actually put in. So give it as much time as possible to dry. So okay, let me get back to it, and we shall see you momentarily. Oh yeah, I wanted to add real quick, I talked last night on the show about having to pull 3 wires through a tiny little bitty hole. Well, technically 4 wires because it's positive and negative, but 3 separate wires because this one's attached together. But that tiny little hole, and they all barely fit through there. And of course the single wires, the red and black, the single ones there are to that light. The other one, I fished all the way down this tube and that's where it comes out, through that tiny hole. And oops, I keep getting the light behind the camera. Comes out through that tiny hole, and then what I have to do is fish 2 more wires for this light through that hole. So it's you know, it's a little fun fishing to get those wires. But like I said, I got out here and I got to looking at it and like, I want to do this the right way. Because sure, I could have ran the wires, on the top or even down along the bottom there. I could have ran the wires, not a problem. But I thought, I want to do it nice. So I decided I'd go ahead and fish the wires through the frame and, go through that route. And no, I'm not concerned about drilling those holes causing problems with structural integrity. They're not very big holes. That's 1/8 inch there, and I can't remember what that is. I don't remember. I'd have to look in the bit box. I know which one I grabbed, I just don't remember what size it was. So just big enough for the wires to go through, that's all I needed. And to be able to fish, because like here, I had to fish stuff out through there, and it was insane. So the other side should go easier, and the reason why is I only have to fish one time through the back, because the power is going to go from here and it's going to run all the way through here and power the back, and then it will run all the way up to the front, and that's where it will stop, will be the front. And then I don't think I need to go through there because the front lights, I am going to just go straight from here and go straight down into there. So, like I said, I was, gonna try to do things the right way and, make it look nice. So, why not? Anyway, back to work. Talk to you when I've got more done. Alrighty, I'm getting ready to fish my wire, and that's a heck of a process. I'm going to do my best to show you. I need to get my light prepped. I need it to be ready to go when I need it. There's these little foam pieces here, so I just ran it through the wire, and I'm just going to grab this, pull it, tear it up here to get around the wire, just pull that loose, discard that over close to my box anyway until I can throw it away, and then make sure that my holes line up when I press it down, and there we go. So my light's prepped, it's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of set it off to the side here, try and get a couple of wraps on there or whatever so it holds it. I just need it to be hanging out for a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a pair of pliers here, and this is the nichrome that I was telling you about. I use it to make coils for vaping. That's what I may use with it. So, and also to make snares in case you have to do a little trapping. So just saying, and this stuff's cheap. So this is again nichrome wire, usually used for vaping. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull. I've got that kind of wrapped kind of weird around there. It should stay. Doesn't always. Sometimes I have to redo it. So I'm just going to try to pull, and let me try to get a little more bend in there to help it out a little bit. I'm going to just take this. I'm just going to kind of bend down a little bit to help that, because what I need to do is try to make sure that that wire stays on there long enough to get through the hole. And then here, I don't know how well you guys can see stuff, but I'm going to just kind of try to help it along there. And then I'm going to pull it on through. I still have my wire, which is a good thing. And then what I'm going to do is, well, my wire broke. So I apparently only have one side of the wire, and I don't know if that's going to be strong enough. But, I mean, I've got one side in there. We're going to try it. So I'm going to take my light and get as much wire out here. I kind of have a feeling this isn't going to work out too well, to be honest, but we're going to try. And I just don't think one wire is going to be enough to do it. So what we're going to do is get us a wrap going here. Not the kind that Motown would support, but the kind of Vapor would support. Well, no, I'm not going to be doing a nice little coil or anything like that. So that's what Vapors would expect. All I'm basically trying to do is get this caught, okay, on these wires. That's essentially all I'm trying to do, is make sure that this thing gets caught on these wires and doesn't let loose. And so you just kind of mess around and and oh, it's there, hang on. Almost lost that puppy. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be enough, but we're going to do our best. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that other wire back a little bit. Give me a little more room, and that way I can pull this wire forward. So I really want to get around the tips of these wires good, if I can, like that. So that way it tugs on the very front of the wire, okay? That's what I want. I want it to tug on the very front of it. Now, like I said, I'm going to come back to these wires here on the other side that run through. I'm going to, I didn't lose that, did I? No, it's right there on the very, very end. Let me grab it. Okay. I'm going to tug on these wires to pull them through a little bit, because that way it gives me room to come forward, so that if I get these started, then I can kind of pull that wire forward too to help it through. So we're going to try to get in here. Looks like it's going to be a pretty close call. Hopefully we don't mess those wires up. Definitely a tight fit through there. I don't know how well we're going to do going through here, because that's even smaller. So looks like I've got things started. Come on. I see the tip of it down there. Let me see if I can grab my pliers here and grab the tip of the wire. So far, so good. I don't know if the black one's going to be able to make it through, though. I better reach down with this and try to pull it up with the pliers. I really don't have a way to get down in there. Alright, I see a black wire. So, that's telling me we are good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that yellow wire, and I am going to pull it forward. Like so. Give us a little more down in there. Do a little pushing and pulling action at the same time. I think we're caught up on a little bit of that wire, so if I can get it pulled through, which I think I did, we should be good. Yep. Okay, so now it's just a matter of finagling these through here. And that gives me plenty of wire. I'm going to see if I can just kind of shove the rest in the frame there. Okay, that one doesn't feel like it's going to crack on me when I mount it, so let me grab my rivet gun. Okay, got my rivet gun and the proper rivets. Let me put that one in place so we know we're lined up. Okay, there goes one. And there goes the other. That is riveted in place. And, if I don't stab myself with the rivet I just pulled out, should be able to pull this off and strip these wires and get this light wired up. So, I got myself a little bit with that. Fun times, fun times. Great place to have a cut, by the way. Alright, well, I'm not going to let you, I should say, watch me deal with all that. So, I'll be back when I got more to show you. Alright, now for the next step, we're getting ready to start the other side. So, I've got all the lights with the exception of the light on front yet, and of course the cargo light. I don't have those on yet, but I've got both the side lights on and I've got the rear light on, and I'm getting ready now to start work on the other rear light here. And so first off, I'm gonna take a screw because I don't have the proper tool. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to take it, the screw here, I'm going to put it on my mark, and I'm going to smack it. Came off a little bit. Let me do that again, get myself a good defined dimple. I keep slipping a little bit. There we go. Okay. Next one's here. And it started to slip. There we go. And then one here. This one's not quite so critical, but still want it close. Oop. Okay, got that imprinted. And then what I'm going to do is take, I think it's a 16th, yeah, a 16th drill bit and drill pilot holes. Yep. I hate when it goes down hard like that. I try to stop it, but okay, this one here. Okay, and now I'm going to move up to 1/8 inch because that is the size of my rivets. Poke a hole there. Oh, you want to swallow that out just a little bit there so your rivet to go in. Okay, and then I've got one more bit here. 13/64. Really doesn't matter. This is for the wires to go into. Boy, it pulled right in there, didn't it? Alrighty. That should be plenty. So, we grab said light. And, well, we actually can't do this step yet, but that's what we would do. See, those wires go nicely into that hole, and they're long enough that they'll come out the end here so that you can do your wiring and all that fun stuff. Let me pause the camera, get it repositioned, and I'll show you the next step I got to do. Okay, not positive how well this is going to show up, but there's a burr down in there, and I don't know if you can see it. It's in relation to the camera. It's at the bottom. It's right there, about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches in, and you can actually see the light shining through that rivet hole a little bit down in there. But that burr I have to smooth out, otherwise it's going to tear the hell out of wires coming across it. For that, I've got my generic Dremel here, rotary tool, and just one of those cheap ass stones. It's probably going to break on me, but anyway, I'm going to run this in there and try to deburr it real quick. We'll see how that goes. Alright, let me grab my flashlight here, and as you can see, not perfect, but a whole lot better. So now I can feed that wire from the other side down through here. I need to get my holes drilled for the rear light here, and then I need to get the holes drilled for the front light down there. And then before I start mounting lights, I have to go ahead and run that wire. So what I'll do is I'll drill these holes up here, and then I'll flip it over, I'll drill the other holes, I'll run my wire, and I'll start back up at the front down there. It's down here. I'll start back up at the front there and work my way back as far as hooking the lights up and riveting them in, because this would be my last spot to be able to solder those all up, get them all nice and bundled up, tucked in there, and not to be seen. So anyway, I am going to get busy on that. I just kind of wanted to show you the steps of what I'm going through for these lights. So all right, talk to you when I'm on another step. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you before we really go any further, I went ahead and I marked and I drilled my holes for the lights in front, because I want to get that stuff out of the way before I go tearing down this side, just to make sure that I'm good to go. One thing I wanted to show you is I'm using a lot of stuff I just have laying around. You may wonder, well, why do you use that, or what, you know? Because I'm using stuff that I have around. I've had those lights forever to do this with, and you know, I don't have a good roll of power wire or anything anywhere. The stuff that I do have, to be honest, is too good for this project, and so I'm using scraps. Like right here, and I don't even know what this wire is going to be like, but like right here, okay? Got an old USB cable that's kind of real crappy, and it's white, which does good for the color. I have no idea what kind of wires are going to be on the inside of it. The reason I say white is because these are going to be powering the clear lights that are on front. And, well, it's certainly a full-blown USB cable, because I see 4 wires in there. And so, the reason why I'm doing this is because this will allow me to be able to run this one wire and be able to catch my lights, my switch, and everything. And I'm just pulling the braiding off is all I'm doing. But I wanted to show you, I'm just using stuff, wire and stuff, that I have around. I'm not going out and buying all kinds of stuff to do this, because I don't have the money to buy all this kind of stuff to do this stuff. I have to work with what I have, and that is one of the skills that I am vehement about when it comes to folks getting ready for preparedness and stuff. Knowing how to do things, right? That is irreplaceable. That is absolutely irreplaceable. And then if you can take it a step further, have a good understanding of how to adapt and modify and make things work for purposes they were never intended for in the first place, then you're really on to something. And so that's the intent. The reason why I can use a little bitty wire like this is because it's just, they're very low wattage LEDs. They're 12 volt, but very, very, very low wattage. So they don't pull anything at all. They don't hardly draw anything. And so you can use a thin little bitty wire like that. It'd be just fine. The wires are inside this tubing. The tubing, you know, is protected from getting water inside and stuff like that. So for the most part. So I don't have to worry about the wire. The wire is going to be fine. And this wire here just literally is going to run straight down, just like so. And that way I will be able to take care of all that goodness in one easy step. And I still haven't figured out where all my wire bundle is going to come out of yet. Probably on the back side of this tube here. Probably on the back side of it. I'll probably punch a hole, and then that's where I'll draw my wires through. So anyway, I will bring you back when I've got more to yak at you about. I'll be getting ready here in a moment to fish that wire, namely this wire, through here. And I'm going to show you how I do that, because people might be wondering, well, how are you going to do that, man? I'm going to show you, man. So just hang in there, and I'll be right back with you. Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to day 3. That's right, I'm just kind of taking it easy on this. So day 3, not going to be a problem to get it finished up today. I actually have done a little bit before I started filming here. This light is all connected, working, checked, tested, mounted, done, good deal. And the other light down there needs to be mounted, but it works, it's all good to go. So I'm ready to run this last wire down this, and I was going to show you how I did that, because it's a little bit tricky with this. And so what I'm going to do is, I said last night on the live show that when I thought about this, before I even started, I thought about real carefully about everything, like the lighting positions and stuff like that. But even more importantly, the rivet holes, the wire holes, and all of that. Well, I wanted to make sure that at least on one side that I had a rivet hole that would line up with that tube, so that that way I can go right into that rivet hole back there, right into that tube like that. All I have to do is push that forward, come down here, wiggle it a little bit. It'll find it. It'll find its spot and go through. Sometimes you got to twist it a little bit. That's what I was doing, was twisting. There we go. Okay, so it's gone through. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to kind of pull it upwards like that. And then there you go. That is the wire right there. The coat hanger, I should say. And so what I'm going to do is pull just a little bit more there. And I'm going to set my pliers down. And I'm going to grab some of that nichrome wire that I was telling you about. This is the nichrome. I've got the other end, the loop down there. And, actually, I would have probably been smarter just to pull the wire straight through this way. And you know what? I think I may do that. Let me think here. I don't think it'd be smart to try to tape onto that. So, I don't need near this much wire. Let me cut me off just a little bit. Got to thinking, it's like, well, why don't I just pull the wire on down through there as I do this, instead of pulling the wire through and then going back through. Just pull the wire now, homie. Okay. Don't have to twist my arm. Alright, so I got that in a loop there. And then this end, I'm going to use up here. And I'm basically going to, I'm going to come up about here, right? And I'm going to cross over. And I'm going to do a little tie with that. I'm going to do a little tie with this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that down like that. And then wrap back the other way. You'll see what I'm talking about. Actually, let me do a couple of wraps with these. What we're basically doing is causing it to catch so it won't come off. That's what we're basically doing. So we're going to come up here a little ways and I'm going to start wrapping. A couple of wraps. Bring this around. Do a couple of wraps, and I'm trying to get it tight. And yeah, I'm allowing it to be messy, because then the whole point of this is that it snatches that and it won't let loose. It's kind of the idea of if you've seen a Chinese finger cuffs, yeah, kind of that idea. So, and the rest here, we're just gonna wire together like that. Aim it down this way, since we'll be pulling. I'm gonna make everything as compact as I can. And see, you want to have a little leeway up there. Gives you room to pull. So I got something going on here with tangle. Gonna try to get it out before we continue on. Alright, and let me grab my wire. Alrighty. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, the one piece of wire I don't see. Alright, so this is kind of going to be the same way. I'm going to bring that through that loop, and I'm actually just going to tighten that up. Like that. Okay. And I'm just going to go wrapping on down it. Like this. Do the same thing with the other side. Wrap it on down, and it doesn't matter if we're tangling up on that. That's fine. And I'm gonna try to intertwine some wraps here. Get her nice and tangled up, because that's the whole point. Gonna try to get down close to that tip the best we can, because again, it's important that we pull from the tip. And we'll see if that's enough to do it. I don't know. We'll try. I've seen worse get it. Yesterday I did that one that I really didn't think was going to go, but it went. Okay, so I'm going to grab my bigger pliers and pull down there as I use my smaller pliers to kind of push up here. Try to grab below that for now. Boy, she is not wanting to go. Let me get that bent a little bit. Like that. Kind of what you have to do. You have to get it so far and then bend it a little bit more, and get it so far and bend it a little bit more. Okay, we should probably be getting close to that. I want to pay close attention as I pull that wire through. I'm going to pay close attention down in that hole to make sure that the beginning wraps of it get through the little hole down there. So I'm going to try to aim it a little bit. And pull a little bit down here. Stick this in. Now I'm going to use it to pry a little bit to try to get that. Maybe I can do this. Yep. Well, I've got it down in there. So let me just ease this a little bit more. Ease it back. All right. Now, we got this wire. Now I'm going to make sure that it feeds okay. And it's already down in the hole. So I'm just going to easily pull back. Hang on here. Got to be careful not to pull that. Okay, there she is. The other end of it right there. And what I'm going to do is get this wired up, and then I'll just pull that in. I'll double check that it works, and then I'll just pull it in. But there you go. That is that's how I did that wire, that particular one. So I know, fun times, but I figure maybe somebody hasn't seen stuff like this done, so if it helps somebody, wondermiss. Alright, I will see you for the next step. Alrighty, now for the moment of truth, and I know it's really, really dark. Let me go ahead and turn on the lights. That's, of course, the front halo light on the front, and then, of course, I've got the driving light, too, that for putting the spotlight out. But anyway, turn the driving light out, and I don't know if that's flashing quite right on there. It's like it's kind of like a strobe light. So anyway, and of course the rear light. There's the trailer. Got the amber lights up front. Oops, I kicked on the outside light. There's the lights around the trailer. And then flip those on there, and that shows you the lights on the front, which actually light up the ground quite nice. I didn't know that they were gonna light it up quite that good. I was kind of hoping it would, but I think it turned out nice. So I think that's very doable, very usable, and definitely enough lights to make it legal to ride at night, and then some. So anyway, hopefully you might have learned some tips and tricks on how to run wire and all that good stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, shalom.